shows that how this gas drilling affects people and how far away from it you are. Down here at the bottom, if they're going to put a pipeline or a compressor or anything 100 miles from your home, you don't care that Kardashians are on. That's what you're thinking about. But then 50 miles away, you start to see gas ads on TV saying how great they are. And you saw an example of that. It gets a little closer, the gas industry starts coming out with big checks and starts giving them to fire halls and hospitals to make them appear to be a good neighbor. As you get closer, the trucks and the noise and the odors start to become annoying. You get up here, within a mile from your home, you can't sell your house. The closer it gets, you're worried for your family's health and safety. And if it's 300 feet from your home or closer, it's ruining my life. And that's what's happening here. It happened in Lake Township, it happened in Hanover, all those things you saw there. Nobody gave a crap about this gas stuff that was happening until it started to come into their backyard. And then they have to pay attention. We're getting towards the end. What I think we should do, we need a plan. Where are we going to go from here? Our state constitution says that we have a right to clean air, pure water, and to the preservation of the natural, scenic, historic, aesthetic values of our environment. As a trustee of these resources, the Commonwealth shall conserve and maintain them for the benefit of the people. This is one of the reasons why that Tom Corbett's Act 13 got overturned. They actually went back and read their own constitution and said that we deserve to have some of our clean air and water preserved. What can we do? Strengthen local zoning laws, strengthen county zoning laws. A lot of times communities don't have their own zoning, so they are covered by a blanket zoning law that the county has. Strengthen federal and state laws. Remove exemptions. The gas industry is the only industry that has a lot of exemptions about what they can put into the ground. Congressman Matt Cartwright is fighting to get rid of those exemptions. He should be applauded for that. He's one of the only congressmen on the coast that's concerned for our welfare. Tax the industry to pay for damages. This last election was a battle of should we tax, should we not tax. Our state has a terrible geology for fracking, as you can see by the contaminations. The only other state that has more is New Mexico. They have 450 water contaminations. So our geography is bad. So if we're going to frack here, we're going to have a lot of problems. We need to pay for that damage so that we don't cover it in our tax bills. Use your voting power to elect environmentally aware candidates that are willing to protect their constituents first and foremost. If you're concerned about the environment, this last election just hurt us bad. Locally, statewide, and nationally. Impose a moratorium on new gas drilling until laws are in place to protect us and the technology catches up to be proven reliable if possible. The gas isn't going anywhere. It's going to be there for a while. Let's figure it out, do it right, until we continue. Do the necessary long-term studies on health and environmental impacts of gas drilling before you continue to do it. Let the people in their own boroughs and townships vote on whether or not they want gas development in their communities, including pipelines. If we don't want it, we're a democracy. We shouldn't have it. Retool the DEP or start another agency that will protect the environment and health. Put environmental scientists in charge, not lawyers, two of which have resigned under Governor Corbett. You've heard of that Porngate that's going around. The last DEP secretary resigned because of that. And these guys are lawyers. They're not environmental scientists. They don't understand these issues. Define acceptable loss for gas drilling. In other words, how much environmental and health damage is acceptable before you put a stop to it. If you hire a plumber to come in your house and he does a bad job, you can call the Better Business Bureau. If he's got enough fines and citations, they shut him down. The gas drillers, they just fine them a little bit and let them keep doing it over and over again. Put an end to the term safe and responsible gas drilling. Every politician you talk to, Democrat or Republican, is going to say, well, I'm for safe natural gas drilling. Well, it ain't happening. And waiting around for it to happen is not going to happen. You got to put a moratorium on it. That's the only thing that's going to get them to move fast enough to change the rules and to make them do it right. Start taking government subsidies away from gas and oil, put them towards renewable energy development and implementation, especially solar energy, to make it affordable. Finally, get involved. If you do nothing, or you wait for somebody else to do it, you will get pipelines and compressor stations. Tomorrow, call your local township supervisors. They were invited tonight, not a one of them showed. Call your representatives, senator, county councilman, and congressman tomorrow and tell them to oppose these pipelines. You'll call them up, you'll get a nice secretary or assistant on the phone. You won't get them themselves, but you can tell them who you are, where you live, and say, I really don't think this is a good idea, and I'd like the senator or the councilman to vote no, and to put out a resolution saying we don't want these pipelines or gas facilities in the area. These are interested parties, which means the Penny's pipeline that's coming through the area puts out interested parties, which means people in the area that have something to do with the pipeline. All of these folks that you see here are in the districts that the pipeline is going to be following through. Call them up. Aaron Coffers, newly elected state representative from the west side. I invited him personally here tonight. He didn't show. Call them up. Tell them that you don't want this. This is a map of the Penny's pipeline from Dallas down to New Jersey. All these communities down here have made municipal resolutions opposing this particular Penny's pipeline. There are no up here. Why do they know down here that this is a bad idea, but yet up here, there's nothing? We're going to change that. We didn't have fracking 10 years ago. Are we much better off today? We're dead last in job creation. And we've had fracking in here since 2008. It really hasn't helped us any. We're going to have an educational meeting to oppose the pipeline if you're willing to do so. On the 24th, November the 24th at 7 p.m. at the West Wyoming Hose Company. I urge you, if you want to oppose the pipeline, to attend. And that'll be it. I'll take questions.